You're listening to 107.9 WRML LP Maze Landing. Coming up next, a look at last week's retro video game news on the RGN Files for the week ending Sunday, March 4, 2018. In the RGN Files this week, Square Enix released a surprise port last week of the classic Super NES title Chrono Trigger for computers utilizing the Steam platform. While fans of the series were initially excited for the release, those same fans quickly took to social media to express their dissatisfaction of the port literally minutes after its availability. Instead of porting the popular SNES version to computers, it was actually the recently released mobile port that got the Steam treatment. Being highly criticized is the sprite rendering, which shows more noticeable non-fluidness between screens, thanks to the larger screen of a computer when compared to the smaller screens on mobile devices. In addition, the font that was used for the port, alongside of the game's control schemes, have also been scrutinized. The game is currently available on the Steam network for just under $15, with a limited edition version available until April 2nd, which includes a musical download as well as computer wallpapers. These bonuses are available at no additional cost through the end of the availability window. This past Wednesday, the Walt Disney Company revealed the very first teaser trailer of its highly anticipated sequel to the full-length animated feature Wreck-It Ralph. The film, whose official title is Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2, takes place 6 years after the events of the first film, with the storyline centering on Ralph's adventures in the internet data space when a Wi-Fi router gets plugged into the arcade as he must find a replacement part to fix Sugar Rush. Returning for the sequel include actors John C. Reilly, Jane Lynch, and Sarah Silverman, reprising their respected roles from the original film. The first movie, which was Disney's 52nd full-length animated film, brought in over $471 million at the box office when it was first released back in 2012. Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2, opens in theaters nationwide on November 21st of this year, just in time for the Thanksgiving weekend. The film has not yet been rated by the Motion Picture Association of America. However, the first film was rated PG for mild fantasy violence and humor. Over in Germany, a group of researchers from the University of Freiburg recently conducted experiments using artificial intelligence to see if an AI system could learn to play Atari video games as well as learn from its own mistakes and ultimately get higher scores. The team calls this method an evolutionary algorithm, which generates multiple algorithms, seeing which ones would perform the best during gameplay. Then, by modifying the way the system plays in minor tweaks, the AI would then compare itself to see if it could obtain a better score. While the system was utilized in the GYM toolkit in conjunction with the Atari 2600 port of Qbert, the system discovered a previously undocumented software bug in which the game does not properly reset before starting the next level. When this bug is exploited, the score counter will continue to advance at a rate much more rapid than typical. The demonstration showed that artificial intelligence can be used as a way of digging out bugs in computer programs and video games to discover exploits that humans would not traditionally be able to detect. Atari released a new teaser trailer last week for their upcoming mobile port of their classic 1978 arcade title Night Driver. Going down in history for being one of the first video games to offer a 3D first-person perspective, the new version has been completely redesigned with a new audience in mind, bringing a lot of modern racing game mechanics to the new title. According to Atari, the new Night Driver will offer a range of different slick and powerful vehicles that can be raced down an illuminated highway in an exhilarating wild ride under the night sky. Players will upgrade and enhance their car's look, performance, and style in this reimagined arcade revival that features breathtaking locations. Also included is a 360-degree showroom, as well as multiple game modes. Atari has not yet given an official release date or pricing information about the title. However, it is slated to be released for both Android and iOS devices. Night Driver will be joining the list of other Atari intellectual properties, such as Pong, Circus Atari, and Haunted House, to be given the mobile treatment. A long-lost video game in the Donkey Kong series has recently been rescued from the proverbial landfills. This past December, a group of fans of the series pulled their resources to purchase a floppy disk that was found in a pile of multiple disks on a Yahoo Auctions listing to snag a copy of the unreleased title Donkey Kong 3: The Great Counterattack. The Japanese exclusive was to be published for a computer system known as the Sharp X1 and was a joint collaboration between Nintendo and Hudson Soft. In The Great Counterattack, Stanley, who we all know from Donkey Kong 3, 3 rests on a single flat platform at the bottom of the playfield, and rather than climb down vines or pulley system, Donkey Kong floats using a pair of balloons. The game offers a total of 20 different stages and has been noted for being extremely difficult. Despite spending $415 for the disc of interest, the fans that rescued the title have extracted the program data from the floppy and have made a ROM image available at no cost, which is compatible with Sharp X1 emulators. A new homebrew title was recently released for the short-lived Commodore Plus/4 computer platform. The Plus/4 was not a success here in the United States, however enjoyed minor success throughout the European Union. The new title, called Pets Rescue, was released at a gathering in Germany known as the BCC Party, which is a part of the Commodore 64 Club Berlin group. In Pets Rescue, you play the part of a veterinarian known to her friends as Afro Dree. After making poor decisions with her co-worker selections, the entire country gets invaded by former pets under an evil mutation. The game includes 20 levels within 5 worlds full of mean creatures, brave jumps, moving platforms, coins, and secrets. The game is available as a free digital download, which can be used on any compatible emulator and has been tested on actual hardware that includes 64K of RAM and a disk drive. In addition, Cytronic Software, a company that publishes physical releases for the Commodore, announced that a physical release of Pets Rescue is also in the works. In the Retro Game Network rumor mill files, this past November, IM 8-Bit announced that they would be releasing vinyl copies of the soundtracks to the Super NES title Battletoads and Battlemaniacs and the Nintendo 64 title Conker's Bad Fur Day. Presently, the official site states that the LP sets will be shipping sometime during the second quarter of this year. However, retailer Best Buy has recently updated their very own listings for the soundtracks, stating that the vinyl will be shipped on April 20th, providing fans with a more specific release date. It is not uncommon for the internet and store retailers to enter a placeholder date for items that are not available for purchase yet. However, having a date as specific as April 20th gives one the idea that it is more accurate than not. This date also coincides with the estimated time frame given by the IM 8-Bit website in its original statement. Please note that the specific release date has not been confirmed by either IM 8-Bit or Best Buy and should be considered a rumor until any of the information can be confirmed in one way or another. And finally this week, we at Retro Game Network would like to take the opportunity to thank all of our loyal viewers, not just on our main website, but on our social media outlets as well. Over the past week, we celebrated our 100th follower on Instagram, our newest social media outlet. This is in addition to our over 480 Twitter followers and our over 860 Facebook followers. We appreciate everybody's patronage, and we hope that you'll certainly spread the word. For those listeners new to the site and social media, you can check out our Facebook and Instagram pages at Retro Game Network and our Twitter site at RetroGameNet. That's it for this week's edition of the RGN Files. For those listening on VGM on FM, please stay tuned. There'll be more video game music coming up shortly. For those listening on Retro Game Network, we thank you for listening and hope you'll tune in again next time. For the Retro Game Network, I'm Christopher Chrisman. For complete details of any of this week's stories, visit RetroGameNetwork.com. This week's news story is provided by the following: the BBC, Best Buy, comicbook.com, IM 8-Bit, Kotato, Oh My Disney, Old School Game Blog, PC Magazine, Polygon. You're listening to VGM on FM on 107.9 WRML. Now, back to the music.